Jake Omen back here at the White Wrestling Academy in Fishers, Indiana. And today we are talking about this photo on the wall right here. This was taken maybe 2 years ago, just outside a building in Marion, Indiana, about 30 or 40 miles north of the current White Wrestling Academy, at a place called the EWF Arena, the Extreme Wrestling Federation Arena, which is the very first place that I ever cut my teeth in professional wrestling. In December of 2003, I went to a show at the EWF Arena, and I had been looking for wrestling schools near me when I was 15, 16 years old, and I found two within 2.5 hours, and the one that was an hour and 10 minutes away was this one right here in Marion, Indiana. And the photo here, even though it's kind of hard to tell, the building looks okay. When I first went to the EWF Arena, it was kind of a broken down building, but it had a certain charm to it. And I, just starting my senior year of high school, knew that this is probably the only place that practically I would be able to attend if I was still in high school. After a lot of convincing, my parents finally said that would be okay as long as my studies weren't impacted. So I signed up here at the EWF school. They had training in theory 3 times a week, so I would drive up there 3 times a week, and I would always get there about an hour early, and usually someone would come to train me about 2 of those days a week. So there would be a day where I kind of just sat in my car for maybe 2 hours, because sometimes guys would show up late and I didn't want them to show up late, and I would have already left. The owner of that company is still a friend to this day. His name is Jason Maples, aka the Hurricane. We still talk sometimes. Way back in the day, Jason was a very large man, and he couldn't really get in the ring to help train us. So he had his crew of people training us usually, and one of his stepsons was one of the guys, and there were a couple other younger guys that kind of showed me the basics, and they showed me what I needed to do to ease on into the professional wrestling business. And it wasn't glamorous, it wasn't glitzy or anything like that, but it was a ring, and that's where I was able to break into the business. It's also where I met several of my best friends, guys like Ed Gonzalez and Adam Bueller, who were very, very, Jay West, very, very near and dear to me. And I got to see those guys every week because they ran every Saturday. Also, the very first night I ever went to the arena, I made another friend who's a dear friend to this day, referee Jason Ayers, who used to go by a different name back then, but he's been a WWE referee for the last 10, 12 years now, and he's crushing it. And I've been able to see him ref on WrestleMania, and I stayed with him for a little bit down in Tampa when he got signed in 2011 or maybe 12. And I still get to see him when I'm a local talent at WWE. And it's just crazy to think that we first met in December of 2003, and now we're here this many years later, still homies and still grinding away, and we haven't really taken a day off since.